how to receive up to 15 months in completely free rent and utility payments. This is real, this is serious, this is here, and it's much easier than it's ever been. Now, I've talked about this in the past. You might have even seen a video of mine in the past. This one's completely different. I felt the need to make another video because in the past, I spent hours breaking down and doing rigorous research on how people can even apply and get this assistance. And my biggest complaint, of course, was this is so complicated. How can anyone in their right mind figure out these programs? Well, I'm happy to announce that I've checked into this again. It is so much easier now. For basically every state and city that I've looked at, it is 10 times easier than it was 3 months ago. And I had a feeling in the past, people wanted to be a part of this program, but then they started and they're like, this is too complicated. It's not even worth it. Let me tell you, so much easier now. So I have made a step-by-step guide that you should be able to follow straight through and get up to 15 months in free rent assistance. It's pretty wild. So let's go ahead and hop into the presentation here. Free rent assistance guide by yours truly. All right, how much can you receive? You get 12 months of back rent payments, 12 months of utility bills, and this includes electricity, gas, home energy services, water, sewer, and trash removal, plus an additional 3 months of both rent and utility payments based on need and fund availability. Now, this varies a little bit state by state, but a lot of the states that I've noticed, a lot of the states are saying that you are likely to receive that additional 3 months. Of course, we don't know exactly what's going to happen by the end of this program, but many states are encouraging people to apply for the additional 3 months, and it seems like there's funding available there. There's a whole load of funding available for rent assistance. And then also I noticed internet assistance is available in some states. Like I noticed internet assistance is available in Michigan. It wasn't available in Minnesota, for example. So it's in some states it is, some it isn't. And assistance for non-past due rent is also available in select areas. So for the 12 months in a lot of areas, you have to have past due rent. And then in some, they're allowing a small portion for current rent. So you want to look into your individual area. Here's an eligibility checklist. So you have to check all of these boxes in order to receive the 12 months plus the potential 3 months. So first off, you are a renter. Second, my household income meets the program limits. We're going to discuss that in a second. Third, someone in your household qualified for unemployment or had a decrease in income or an increase in expenses due to COVID-19. You have to be able to check that. And in most states, you're going to need some kind of documentation that even shows that you have proof of this. And then the next checkbox, someone in your household is at risk for housing instability or homelessness. Now, in this case, what kind of documentation could you provide? You know, it's a little bit up in the air. You may just have to attest to all these, basically sign off saying, hey, I hit that criteria. This varies again a little bit state to state, but most states will require some kind of documentation if it's something that, you know, can have documentation. Income limits. So you have to hit these income limits in order to receive any amount of funding, and there's no budging, there's no wiggle room on the income limits as far as I've seen anyways. So households must have an income of less than 80% of the area median income, also known as the AMI. Households with an income of less than 50% of the area median income are given priority in many states. So in some states, they're launching this out in phases. The lowest income earners get it first, and then it's the up to 80%ers, and then some other states just have it open to anyone who is within 80% of that area median income. Now you might be thinking, I don't know what my area median income is. Well, I found this fancy dancy tool here on the Fannie Mae website. You can either just type in your address up on top here, or you can simply scroll in. Let's just go to Albuquerque, for example. You can just scroll into wherever you live, to your general census tract, and then you just click and it'll tell you what the area median income is. It's kind of small. I don't think I can make it any bigger. So it'll tell you what the area median income is. It'll tell you what 80% of that is and what 50% of that is. So it literally tells you exactly what you need to know on this lookup tool. So this is as a part of the guide that I have. And you can have a free copy of this guide. It's linked down in the description. All you have to do, it's on Google Drive. You just open it up, click File, make a copy. There you go. It's your own copy. You can have it completely for free. I'll gladly take a free subscribe in return for making this presentation. All right, document checklist. This will vary a little bit state to state, but in general, there's only so many documents you can possibly have ever provide. So in most states, it'll be one of these at least. So first off, an identification document for the head of household. This could be a state-issued ID, driver's license, passport, ITIN number, tribal ID, or any other form of government ID. A rental agreement. I'm glad that there's a little bit of flexibility on this one. So a signed lease, of course, that's a rental agreement. But there's a lot of people who will like rent a room or rent a building and they don't necessarily have a lease, they just pay their landlord. All you have to do is get some kind of statement that says you're paying rent, and that will be acceptable in most states, or documents that show that you just pay some kind of rent at your address. So there's some flexibility there on the rental part, because I was concerned about people who just rent a room, you know. Additional documentation, income eligibility documents for all adults. For all adults. A signed 1040 tax return document for the year 2020, or all W-2s for all adults, or 1099s, or pay stubs, or pay documents for the last 2 months. You need that because you need to show that 80% AMI requirement. If you have no income, you're able to still apply, because of course you don't have a pay stub if you have no income. You'll just have to self-attest, which basically means you sign off saying, I don't have any income. You also need some kind of past due rent certification. So you can either just get this from your landlord if you haven't received one, some kind of tenant ledger, or just, you know, an invoice. Something simple from your landlord saying that, hey, you, the renter, owes back due rent, and then you're eligible for the back due rent criteria. Past due utility certification. You should have already received this if you are past due on your utilities. So you should have that in your email or in the mail, however you receive your statements. But this could include water, sewer, power, gas, electric, fuels, or trash. And then bills for other housing expenses, such as fees charged you by your landlord. That is also included within rental assistance. So things like late fees can also be included in some areas. Now, how to apply? We're almost at the end here. How to apply? You want to visit the Treasury's website. We're going to walk through this in a second. Then you select your state in the dropdown, select your city if applicable. A lot of cities have their own rental assistance program if they have a population of more than 200,000, and then you fill out your area specific application. Now that's where we have the variability, because each area has their own portal. So of course portals can look slightly different. So we're going to visit the Treasury's website. And you'll just scroll down. You see there's drop downs for every state. They've made this so much easier. I can't even explain how much easier this is. And as an example, let's just do Minnesota, my good old home state of Minnesota. We'll just go to their main website here. They have a real nice looking portal. And we can see they're one of the states with different phases. And if we scroll down, renter application, renters apply now. And you literally just go through this portal. We know the eligibility criteria. Tenants, you can apply today. This is already open. They have a nice little pre-screening questionnaire to make sure that you fit within the criteria. Let's click another one just for another example. Let's do Maryland. I haven't seen this one yet, so we'll just check it out real quick. Okay, so they have a rental portal as well, so that's good. I did notice in some areas you actually have to bring in documents. I think that's pretty rare, but I did notice that on a couple of them. You choose your county. Application information. So you might have to do a little bit of work. They want to make sure that you understand the program criteria, but you're watching this video, so you understand it. Okay, we'll go back and okay, here's the apply now link for their portal. And they have a map tool with eligible properties and eligible areas. So it does vary a little bit city by city, state by state. However, as a general overview, as long as you hit the eligibility criteria and you have the documentation that says, hey, I hit that eligibility criteria, you will be good to go, and you can receive 12 months for certain of back due rent, plus potentially an additional 3 months if there's funding, which it seems like there will likely be the additional funding for that additional 3 months. So I'm really glad that this program got its act together and is much easier. Now that they've had some time to set up these profiles, it is so much better now. So if you hit that criteria, you absolutely want to apply as soon as possible. So again, the presentation that I made, you can download that for free down below. Just click File, make a copy on the link, and you'll have your own copy of it. Also, while you're down in the description, check out my other various offers for free stocks, free crypto, other cool stuff going down there. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Like this video if you found it helpful. Make sure you share it if you found this helpful, and I hope you have a profitable day.